How's it going, everyone? It's been about 9 months since I last made a video on my bourbon collection, and I picked up a lot of bottles since then, so let's get started. Starting with my most hyped bottle, the Jack Daniel's 14 Batch 1. I was lucky enough to actually get this at a Barrelpalooza event here in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina. They selected the first 50 people random, and I was amongst the first 50 people out of about 500 or 600 people. So I picked up this bottle as probably one of the most hyped bottles of last year, and I actually, as you can see, opened it, and I really enjoy it. I opened this bottle last Christmas, and I've been sharing it with my family and friends, and I would say it's a pretty good bottle. Definitely not worth the $700 or $800 that people are asking secondary, but for a Jack Daniel's product, it's very good. It still has that banana flavor, which some people like, some people don't like, but I would probably buy another bottle if I got it for retail again. The other bottle that I got at that Barrelpalooza event was this Jack Daniel's Coy Hill 2024. Yes, they still had leftover Coy Hill in November of 2025, which I was also surprised about. This one happens to be one of the lowest proof Coy Hills ever made. It's 123 proof, and I believe they went down to 122. I'm waiting for a special occasion to open this bottle, but I've heard that this is one of the best Jack Daniel's products ever made, and I can see why, because people still are asking $500 or $600 for this on the secondary. Continuing with the Jack Daniel's theme, last weekend at the Father's Day Barrelpalooza, I was lucky enough to get selected amongst the first few people again. I don't know how that keeps happening. And I actually got this Jack Daniel's Tanyard Hill Hazmat. Now, a lot of people had this as their top 5 whiskeys of the year last year, and I'm really happy that I got a chance to buy this at MSRP. I am really looking for a special occasion to open this up because it's worth a lot, and hazmats, a lot of people aren't used to that high level of proof. I personally like high proof bourbons, but yeah, I was just really lucky again. And as you can see, it's 143 proof, a little over that, and it's a true hazmat Jack Daniel's product. I picked up this single barrel Heritage last fall. This happens to be one of the earlier batches that they released. This one was barreled on 7/7/17 and bottled on 10/29/25, so a little over 8 years old. This is probably one of my favorite Jack Daniel's products that I've ever tasted. It tastes like a really solid single barrel, none of that banana flavor that some people like and don't like. I personally don't like, but it just tastes like a really smooth, rich, and sweet Jack Daniel's single barrel. I haven't picked up a backup yet, but these are getting pretty easy to find nowadays, so let me know your thoughts on this bottle. We had another Barrelpalooza this past January, and at that one I was lucky enough to get a Stagg 25B. That one they actually had about, I want to say 20 to 25 cases of Stagg, including some of the 25A, B, C, and D, as well as some of the 24 batches. So that was probably the most amount of Stagg that I'd ever seen in my entire life in one place. And pretty much everybody who showed up that day was guaranteed to get a Stagg. Now, some people say the 25D is the best, some people like the 25A, but really you can't go wrong with any batch, and I'm happy to pick this up. My favorite whiskey of all time is Weller Antique 107, and I bought one in Ohio a few years ago at MSRP, and I'm almost done with that bottle, so I've been looking for a new one for about 2 years. At that Barrelpalooza where I got the Stagg, I was lucky enough to get a Weller single barrel, and that is what I traded for these two Weller Antique 107, not just regular, but store picks. Now this one here is from Star Liquors. I believe it might be in Florida, I want to say. And then this one here is from probably the most famous liquor store of all time in the bourbon community, which is Binny's in Chicago. Now, Binny's had that legendary barrel-proof Pappy 15 back in 2003, which now goes for over $100,000, but I'm extremely happy to pick these up. Shout out to the guy who traded the Weller single barrel for these, and once I finish that Weller 107 that I got in Ohio, I'm definitely going to crack the Binny's one first, because it is a non-chill filtered, and people say those are the best store picks, but I'm sure this one is good too. And Buffalo Trace actually gave me the exact age of both of these. I want to say this one was about maybe 7 years, and this one was about 7.5 years. So yeah, again, my favorite whiskey of all time, and I'm really happy that I got these. Even though I traded my first Weller single barrel for 2 Antique 107 store picks, I was actually able to pick up another Weller single barrel at this past Father's Day Barrel Palooza. It seems like these are becoming more common and easier to get, and I'm currently trying to trade it for a pre-batch 18 Stagg Junior. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and I'll probably just open this. So let me know your thoughts on Weller single barrel. Is it actually good or not? And last but not least, like a moth to a flame, I can't stop buying these. The Four Roses single barrel strength. Now this one happens to be an OESO tier 6, which means that it's the sweet, fruity mash bill, and it's the highest tier of the Rick House, which is probably the best, the one that everybody really wants is the tier 6 bottles. They also happen to be the highest proof because they were aged at the hottest point of the Rick House. So yeah, as you can see, it's a tier 6, and this one happens to be a Rowan County, North Carolina pick OESO. I've seen some other ones around here lately, like an OBSQ and an OBSV, but the OE ones are probably my favorites. I also have an OESV, which is pretty good, and I, for some reason, always pick these up and they never disappoint. So thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a like and comment if you like this video, and let me know if you have any of these bottles or if you're looking for any of these bottles and which ones you're looking for the rest of 2026.